Hi, welcome to Math 24/7. Today is a 7th grade lesson. This is a lesson 3 area of rectangles and parallelograms. So up to this point, lesson 1 and 2 were about circles. We're now going to move on to area of rectangles and parallelograms. This should sound familiar. I know you have at least seen these formulas. It may have been a while since we have done them, or you have, seen and had to solve any, but I think it should sound familiar. So here we go. Area of rectangles. So area is the surface measurement. I don't need a marker here. The surface measurement of a two-dimensional figure. In this case, it's going to be a rectangle. And we're going to think of it as how many square units does it take to cover that shapes all over the front of it. So we're going to use the formula area equals base times height, where the b is the length of the base, and h is the height of the rectangle. And when we do area, as we did with in the circle, when we found the area of a circle, the area is measured in square units. So inches times inches means inches, and then we use the exponent 2. And then we always know that that means area. Feet squared, meters squared, okay? So here we go. We have a 5 by 12.7 centimeter rectangle. We know the area of rectangles is area equals base times height. Remember, a letter next to a number, two letters next to each other with no sign in the middle, or a number and a letter with no sign in the middle, both means multiplication. And I just want to make that clear now. As you're saying, well, I don't know what to do when I see a B next to the H. So you can put a little dot in the middle, but remember at this point, we don't use X for multiplication anymore, so there's different ways to see it. So we're going to plug in the values, because area equals 5 times 12.7. It doesn't really matter which one you make the base and which one you make the height. Because the properties of multiplication doesn't matter which order. And if you turn this slightly over, so it was up, that could be the base and 12.7 could be the height. So it really doesn't matter. When you multiply 5 times 12.7, it's as simple as that. We get 63.5, and it's centimeters squared. Over here, we have a formula. We have 1 and 2 fifths over 2 and 1/2. So our formula is area equals base times height. In this case, we can actually turn our fractions into decimals, but we can turn them into improper and multiply as well, or we can turn them to decimals. So 2 1/2 is 2.5 times 2 fifths is the same as 0.4, so this is 1.4. And if we multiply them together, we get 3.5 feet squared. In the next one, we will actually have to, nope, we can use decimals as well. We can turn a half into a decimal. We have 2 walls of a room are being painted. Each wall is exactly the same. So we have 2 walls, 16 times 8.5. Base times height. So area equals base times height. And we have, I'm going to do this, we have 2 walls. And that's only because we have 2 walls, not 1. Now if we multiply that all out, we get 272 feet squared. So when we're writing formulas, we can manipulate them, meaning we can move letters and numbers around. So in case we have missing pieces that aren't always the area. So for instance, just like we like to solve 1 and 2 step equations, if we wanted to find the H, we would divide both sides by the base. So we can be written as H equals area divided by base. Or if we're looking for the base, it's area divided by the height. So here are 3 or two more ways, or one way to find height, one way to find base, but three ways in which we can write the same formula in a different way so we can find what it is we're missing. So here they are. You're more than welcome to use them, refer back to them. We're going to look at this one. We have the area is 162. We have the height, but we don't have the base. So we're going to use, since we're looking for the base, I'm going to go up. I'm going to use this formula. Base equals area divided by the height. So the base is going to be equal to 162. And I always recommend that you write out the formula first, plug in your values, and then we do 162 divided by 18, and it is going to be 9 meters. So this side would be meters. It is not squared. It is not an area. Only when you multiply them together will they become squared. All right, a rectangle canvas covers 225 square feet on the wall. If a canvas has a height of 18 inches, what is the base? So again, area equals base times height. We know if it's 22 square inches, that's the area. And we want to know what the, oh, hold on, we got to back up. We didn't use the right formula. We could still come to it that other way, but I'm going to go back and use, we want to find base equals area divided by height, makes it easier. So we're going to go 225 divided by 18, and that equals 12.5 inches. Okay. 6 students asked to write a formula that could be used to find the height of a rectangle with a base of 12 and an area of 60. So base of 12. So we can use a formula like this or a formula like this. So we are looking for anything with this. So this would work. It's the right form, but 12 times 12 does not equal 60. So that form will not work, right? So the area would have to be 60 on the outside and multiplied by the base. So it looks kind of right as far as the form is right, but the 60 is supposed to be the area. So these two are in the wrong place, so Chloe will not work. Ben, looks like they switched what we said they would switch, and because 12 is the base, we are looking for the height in 60. We know that it does follow this formula right here. So Ben, ding, 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 good job. Ben will work. We also are looking for the height, so height equals, because we're looking at the top, area divided by base. So height equals area by base. Well, 12 was not the area, 60 was. So those are in the wrong order. So Sean is wrong, but Kate flipped them around. So Kate is correct as well. So think about those 3 formulas, this one, and the amounts they give us, the 60 and the 12, have got to be in the right places. Parallelograms. I gotta pull that up just a minute. I guess I can move it afterwards. The dimensions of a parallelogram are also base and height. So when we use the area of a parallelogram, the formula area equals base times height is the length of the base, and h is the height of the parallelogram, which makes a 90-degree angle with the base. So just want to be clear, when you're looking here, before this side length was up straight, and so we could call that the height. The height now has to be, make sure that we are at a 90-degree angle. So the height, you start from a corner. You could also do this as the height as well. It doesn't matter which side. But either way, this does not form a 90-degree angle. So we're going to use this as the base, this is the height. So formula, area equals base times height, same thing as we've been using. So area equals 12.2 times 8. Do not use the 10. That is not the height. that is not the height. We multiply those together and we get 97.6 centimeters squared. The next one, same formula, because it's the same as a rectangle. Base times height. Okay, we know that this side does not make a 90-degree angle, a right angle, so we have to use this one. There's our right angle. So this is 6 times 2.5. And the area here is, when I multiply it on my calculator, 15 feet squared. And in the last one, we're going to look at this. Carly was given a rectangle and a parallelogram. So rectangle 5, height is 2.3. In this one, we have 5 and a side length of 2.3 and a height of 2.1. So she said that they both had an area of 11.5 because they both had the same base and the same height. Is she correct? And if not, why? Well, okay, this one does have a height of 2.3. This height is different. These are the same. So because they use the side length, she is incorrect. They have different heights. So they will not come out to the same answer. And that is today's lesson. If you have any questions, go ahead and get in contact with me. Remember, as you're playing, you can rewind this, stop it, slow it, whatever you need to do. Make sure you have all the information. If you think you're good to go on to your homework. If you have a few more questions, go ahead and see me or Mrs. Ritchie or Mrs. Lane. Will be more than happy to help you clarify anything, and then you can get started. Have a great day.